Hi friends, this is Chris with Peace of Mind Art and Crafts, and today I'm going to do some hearts since Valentine's Day is coming up, and I use hearts a lot anyway all year long. So this is actually the one we're going to make. I call it a ribbon heart, and what it is it's strips of ribbon that are woven, and I'll show you how to make this. Before we get started on making this, I'm going to show you some of the conversation hearts that I have in my Etsy shop right now. I've been making these for quite a while, and I have about 10 or 12 of them in my Etsy shop right now. These are the ones that I have. So I'll hold them up for you. Color outside the lines. Each one has a saying on them. I hope you dance. Follow your art. You are a rainbow sprinkle in a vanilla world. Meet me by the sea. And this one has a little charm, the mermaid's tail. You are my sunshine. These are also decorated on the back. So they make kind of a nice alternative instead of a card. Thank you so very much. The garden is my happy place. This one says, bonjour. And here's another, I hope you dance. So if you're interested in any of those, go over and take a look at my Etsy shop. I've always got some interesting stuff over there. And if you look below, there's a link to get to my Etsy shop. Also, I am going to link another video that I have on how to make ribbon cutout shapes. I made some in the shape of Christmas trees, stars, of course hearts, and the ones that are in the other video are just using ribbon going in a horizontal or diagonal way, for using ribbon for stripes, and then you cut them out and have a Christmas tree or a heart, or whatever shape basically that you want. These I did a long time ago, and I did them a little bit smaller than this, and I used them as a brooch. But I'm just going to show you how to make them. You can use them for different sizes. Whatever size heart that you want, you need to make a pattern, and I showed you how to do that before. You make like half of the heart pattern, then you fold the paper, and you just can cut out the half, and then you have a hole. And when you open the paper out, you place this half on the fold, or you just place your pencil on the fold and draw your heart. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is I have cut a number of strips of ribbon in the Valentine's colors. You could use any colors you want. And you can also use like lace ribbon if you have some of that. I didn't have any that was thin enough for this, so I didn't use any lace on mine. And then what I use for my background, and you can use anything you want, a piece of fabric, a piece of paper, whatever you have. But what I have been using is a piece of, and I'm going to fold this back so it lays, or roll this back so it lays flatter. a piece of interfacing. And this is double-sided interfacing. And I have my little mini iron here, as you can see, by Clover. And when I put my iron down, it will tack, whatever I put down, it will tack it to that area. So what I'm going to do first is I just took a square, because I don't want to cut out the exact shape, because then I won't get it this nice heart shape. I want to draw it on the back. I'll use a Sharpie. Kind of put it in the middle of a square. You don't need too much excess on the back here. Make a heart shape. Okay, and that's just so that you have, and I made it on the back of the paper, the shiny side where it's actually the sheet of tracing paper. And I'll turn it back over, and this is the glue side of the paper. And you can see the heart through that area. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to start weaving your heart shape. What I do is I start out, you can start out on the edge, and I'm going to put all of my ribbon up towards the top here. I don't have to go exactly to the top, but fairly close to the top. And then I'm going to move it over so it covers over that edge. I'm going to take my iron, which is heated, and I'm just going to gently tap it down so that tacks it down to the edge. Okay, then I'll move on to the next one. And vary your colors, maybe have a light and a dark. And I'm just going to put that right up next to that other ribbon. Now remember, I'm not gluing down the whole thing. I'm just tacking down right at the top here. Just tacking that down above this heart shape. Okay, well, I'm just going to keep going. See, let's try a piece of this real thin ribbon. If you want this to go faster, use thicker ribbon. But it is kind of nice to put a couple of little thin ones in there to give it some contrast. Okay. And just keep moving along. Let's put a red one in here. Now, if you should happen to get a little gap in your paper or something like say, that size, don't worry about it, because when you go back this way with the weaving, that will cover it over it. Let's see, what have we got? Oh, let's try this pretty white sparkle. I used this a lot at Christmas time. That was a pretty ribbon. I have a thing for ribbons. I collect them. And since I do collect them, I rarely will pay full price for them. I'll get them at Joann's or Hobby Lobby or Michael's. And of course I don't get too much ribbon at Michael's anymore. They don't have too much in the way of fabric and ribbon. But Hobby Lobby and, let's see here, Hobby Lobby and Joann's have ribbon. But a lot of times, like after Christmas and so on, they'll put their ribbons on sale. So that's usually when I get them. And I also use a lot of ribbons and laces in my kits that I make. So that makes it, better for me makes it more economical for me when I'm making kits. Not to have to pay super high prices for ribbon, because they can be kind of high. Okay, I think we need a white piece or a light piece. Let's try this pretty pink with the scallops. Okey-dokey. You just have to have enough to cover from the top of your paper down to past wherever your heart shape is. Okay, almost done here. Let's see what I got. I think I'll use this one since it's kind of wide, and then I can finish up my heart shape that way. Okay, let's see how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11. Okay, it helps to have an odd number rather than an even number, because you will turn up every other one. I need to see if I have any other colors. Okay, so the first thing I want to do, I'm going back now. This I'm gonna start weaving my fabric, and I'm going to turn up every other ribbon. So if you have something to hold it down, I'm going to use my bottle there to hold it down. Every other. And you want to make sure that, see how I had glued a little bit too much there, too far down? So it helps if you take that up a little bit. Every other one. Same for here. Get up too much. So that you can see that what I'm doing. The other one. And this one goes up. Okay, I'm going to try to move these back a little bit so you can see better. Okay, so the next one I'm going to do is I'm just going to set this. I'm going to set this right in here. Try to get it as straight as possible to the top. Then I'll glue, or I'll tack down this on the side. If I want to, I can tack it a couple places in the middle. Okay, then I'll let these down. And straighten this out. Okay, then I'm going to pull up the ones that okay, so this one was the one I ended with. I came down, so I'm going to pull up the ones, actually the ones that I have the ribbon going over them. Every other one. Pull back. Okay, then I'm going to select another ribbon. it up so that it goes as close as possible to that other ribbon that I put down first, that white ribbon, or that light pink ribbon that I put down first. I'm just going to kind of butt it up against there until I get it as close as possible to that one. I'm going to tack it down a bit here and there. Okay. And when I let loose of these, I can put those back over. Now you can see how I'm getting kind of a woven look to it. If I want to, I can go back in just on the ones I've done already and kind of put this down. It helps it just stay a little straighter. Okay, this one I'm doing this as a quick deal, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of this off camera, and then I'll come back and show you the rest of it. So I'll be right back. I'll continue on down weaving my ribbons. Okay, I'm back, and I've finished all the way down to the last strip. And as you can see by the back that I've covered, see all this area here that I've covered over? That will be cut away. So I really wouldn't have had to cut these strips quite this long, but I did anyway, just to be sure that I get everything covered. Okay, so this is the last one, so we want to do every other one. So this was the first one that's under, so I'm going to turn that back. Next one that's under, turn that back. And let's see. I have two. I've actually got this going over two here. So what I'm going to do on here is, if you make this mistake, no biggie. So just go ahead and do every other one anyway. So I did, this one went up, then this one goes up, and as you get down to the bottom, it gets a little bit fiddly. So let's see, this one's gonna go up, that one's going down. All you got to cover is a tiny bit down here, so it's probably not going to even show that I got off here. Here, this one. Okay, so I'll bring this up so you can see how I'm going to just lay this right across here. This is going to be like the point on my heart. Oops. Okay, I'll take these away. I'm going to push that down. Okay, now I have my whole heart covered. What I want to do next is I want to use my iron. If you don't have one of these little small irons, you can, as you go, you can glue the top here, and then each one that you do, you can glue the side down, and that should work fine. Since I have glue on here, what I'm going to do is just go over this area, glue these down, and I'll show you in a little bit how to glue around the edges again. This is a very fiddly and a time-consuming project. You can also do this with fabric or even paper. Make a woven area that's bigger than the shape that you're going to put down on it. This is the shape you're going to put down on it. Make a woven area that's bigger, or you can just cover a whole page with a woven, and then, you know, place your hearts or whatever shape you're using, and then cut them out from there. Okay, so I have that kind of glued down. I'm trying to make sure I especially get in the middle area and on the outside of the heart, and I can do that by turning this over, maybe doing it from the back, so I make sure I get this back part heated, and that will glue down the ribbon strips. Okay, and I did use my pinking shears. So I'm going to use those. Those are my fabric ones. I think I will use my fabric ones since I'm cutting fabric. I know they work a little better, even though I have paper as well. And I'm just going to cut along that marker line. I'm going slow. And you say, how can you use these? Well, you can use them, like I said, make them into a pin. Be kind of a big pin, but you could also make them into a necklace. And you can use them on the front cover of your journal or inside your journals. Or you can send them to someone as a Valentine. Now, you can use this too in something. Because isn't that cool? You just see this dark brown showing through here now, but if you had this this cut around the edges, so it wasn't quite so jaggedy. But I think that looks really pretty, and that would look really pretty on a journal page. So I'm going to save it, of course. Okay, so I have my two pieces. If you wanted to, you could put a tiny ribbon up on top, or you can even put like a word. You know, like those candy hearts have a word that says cutie pie or sweetheart. Whatever you wanted to on here. I thank you for joining me today. I hope you try this. It really is fun. Like I said, it's a little bit fiddly, but it's hard to do on camera. So that's why because it does take a long time. So that's why I kind of cut to the, turned the camera off and then came back on. Peace of mind to everyone, and happy Valentine's Day.